The sun.
It has shone for 5 billion years and will shine for 5 billion more. For us, it is the great engine of life.
Has it ever happened that the sun's rays did not make it to the earth? Historians mark the Dark Ages at the decline of the Roman Empire in the early 500s after the Common Era, where there was a cultural and economic breakdown. That same period, 1500 years ago, something extreme happened to the world's climate. It changed drastically and uncharacteristically. Clouds of dust shrouded the earth. The sun was overshadowed. The sky was red. It got much colder. Unprecedented drought filled crops. It was a climate change catastrophe that had affected the entire world. A supervolcano's eruption will be 1,000 times larger than its lesser kind. That's like a 1,000-ton atomic bomb explosion. It happens when magma from the mantle rises into the crust, but is unable to break through it. Often, collapse of the crust happens at the volcano mouth, and this forms an active caldera. The pressure keeps building up as the magma pool grows, until the crust yields. In a massive eruption, result spewing tons of material. That kind of eruption would eject burning ash, the consistency of crushed glass, and sulfuric acid many kilometers up into the atmosphere, and it rained back down from dense cloud cover over large portions of the Earth, effectively blocking out the sun's rays, thus cooling the planet. For the effect to be felt globally, the supervolcano would have to be situated somewhere on the equator, so that the upper atmosphere jet stream would carry the ejecta fallout cloud over the globe. There is supportive evidence that such an event happened during the beginning of the Dark Ages. Thanks to the water cycle of evaporation and condensation, ice contents reveal what was in the atmosphere in the layers of the frozen water. Investigation of polar ice cores dated to the 6th century shows that for both North and South Pole ice samples contain excessively large amounts of sulfates consistent with volcanic eruptions. This is a clue that a major volcanic eruption had to have happened from a supervolcano in the equator in that time period. Concurrently, cross-sectional tree samples from around the world, Ireland, Finland, Chile, Siberia, Korea, to name a few, show that tree rings are uncharacteristically very narrow for several consecutive years, indicating harsh growing seasons, and do not start to widen until several decades later when growing recovery was favorable. During the same time period, recorded eyewitness accounts around the globe concurrently report unusual climate events for their area. In the Mediterranean, there are unseasonably cool springs and summers all over the declining Roman Empire. The sun is described as being shadowed and present for only 4 hours a day. It's cold and crops are failing. Similarly, the reigning dynasty in Japan worries about colder temperatures combined with famine due to failed crops. China's Nachi Chronicles reports a red sky raining down snow-like yellow dust that can be scooped up by the handful. And Europe suffers similar conditions of scarlet skies, dim sun, colder weather, lack of rain, and failing crops. It is a global catastrophe of epic proportions that brings hardship, famine, and the plague.
A mighty thunder, which was answered by a furious shaking of the earth, pitch darkness, thunder and lightning, and then came forth a furious gale, together with a hard rain, a deadly storm darkening the entire world. In no time, there came a great flood. When the water subsided, it could be seen that the island of Java had been split in two, thus creating the island of Sumatra.
There are many active supervolcanoes around the world today. Yellowstone is the largest by a factor of 2 from any other of its kind and has erupted several times in the ancient past. In Italy, just west of the famous Mount Vesuvius, destroyer of Pompeii, Capi Flegrei occasionally reminds its surrounding 500,000 inhabitants that it's there. And, of course, Anak Krakatoa, the remnant supervolcano descendant of Krakatoa, is just one of many active volcanoes in the Indonesian hotspot.
The whole infrastructure of civilization would collapse around us due to the huge environmental catastrophe that would happen because of the failing of crop production, the darkening of the skies.
Communications would be taken out, satellite communication. Aircraft transport would be interrupted very severely for a long period.
Well, people start to struggle for resources. I mean, and basically that means warfare. You either sit and starve or you get out there and try and acquire food.